Hello and welcome to Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Ellen Bergman from the City of Bryan.
And I'm Sandy Ferris with Bryan ISD. Today we'll tell you about some Davila Middle School students who are helping to save the environment, and some Hammond Oliver students recently toured the Texas A&M Health Science Center.
The City of Bryan will show you some highlights from November's Veterans Day Parade in downtown Bryan, and we'll show you the Habitat Humanity House that was the 200th home built here in Bryan, Texas. But first, we'll open up by showing you some Jane Long Middle Schoolers who participated in the Bryan Municipal Court's Teen Court Mock Trial. The week of November 7th through the 11th was Texas Municipal Courts Week. Among the many activities the Bryan Municipal Court hosted to celebrate the week was a mock trial put on by members of the Jane Long Middle School Teen Court program. Teen Court is a diversion program designed to offer an alternative to formal juvenile court proceedings. Teen Court defendants are first-time Class C misdemeanor offenders, generally aged 11 to 17, who voluntarily agree to participate in the program.
The overall goal of Teen Court is we want to educate the children, both defendants and student volunteers, make them responsible students, and send them back out rehabilitated into their lives so they can get it back on track. And when they go to Teen Court, they have the opportunity of getting this off their record and doing the constructive sentence that people their age, their peers, arrive at during the Teen Court process. We have attorneys who are the defendant's age, defense and prosecuting attorneys. We have adults who come in and work with them only as the judge and maybe helping as second or third chair with the defense and prosecuting.
Teen Court cases are referred by the City of Bryan Municipal Court. The City of Bryan implemented the Teen Court program in January of 2008. Well, Sandy, like we mentioned in the story, the Teen Court program is in several Bryan ISD schools.
It is, and it's been very successful. We're really glad to have that opportunity to work with Bryan Municipal Court. Well, about 40 Davila Middle School Science Club students are involved in a wetlands restoration project called Get Hip to Habitat.
We took 41 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to Baytown, to the NRG Eco Center, through kind of a partnership with the Galveston Bay Foundation. And the kids went through sort of a wetlands 101. They learned about the importance of wetlands, the habitats that wetlands provide, and why it's so important. And of course, because of all the erosion and because of hurricanes and various sorts of things, also because of human interaction with the coastline, the kids learned what we could do basically to help restore what's been lost. And so the kids are basically, we went and we pulled up, each kid pulled up 20 grasses. We brought back, I guess that would be, all these grasses. We individually potted each one, put them into these pools, and we're basically creating an estuary here at the campus. The grasses will mature. There'll be 5 to 10 grasses for every one we brought back. And in May, the kids will actually replant these in Galveston Bay, at Galveston Island, as a complete restoration project of a complete coastline.
We're mainly checking to see if our plants are growing right, and the main thing we want to check for is diseases like white scale and black spot and rust, and those we can try and cure, but if it gets really bad, then the plants just aren't going to survive.
We measure how much salt we have, and if we have too much salt, then we have to go over here and get water, and we have to put it in the pools. Because if it gets too salty, then the plants will die, and if it gets too watery, because it's kind of hard since we live so far away from the ocean, you have to kind of make it the ocean here. In May, we're going to get on the bus, and we're going to drive, instead of going to Baytown, we're going to go to Galveston Island. And then we're going to start planting it in there. And then you'll start reproducing and making more and more. So that instead of if we plant 5, by the end of the year, there's going to be 50. And so they're going to help clean out the water, like trash and pollution, and they keep all that stuff from going out into the ocean.
The whole idea behind this project, I spent a lot of time at the coast this summer, was to give kids the connection, maybe to the ocean that some of them hadn't had. But then for even the kids that had, it's the idea that they're not just growing plants, they're actually learning that they can make a difference in our world. And that's the end lesson that we're trying to get them to understand, is that each of them can do something great to really, really make a difference, and that's what they're doing.
Well, Sandy, are there any other local schools besides Davila that are participating in the Wetlands Project?
Actually, there aren't. Davila is really the only school outside of the Galveston-Houston area that's participating.
Well, you may have heard recently that Bryan Councilmember Mike Sutherland had some health issues because of a heart ailment. He's got that all taken care of, and he's back at work at city meetings. But now he's taking the opportunity to tell folks to get healthy and to use the Bryan Park system to help you.
I experienced heart issues about 5 years ago and didn't know it. As I was running, I had this pain in my chest, and it really kind of knocked me to my knees. But you know, when you exercise, you have pain, so I didn't think anything of it until later on, a couple years later, it started getting worse and odd times, and so I went to the doctor and they checked me out and they did EKGs, but couldn't find anything. And then what triggered me going into the emergency room was I had fainting spells, which I thought was brought on by, I had high blood pressure medication. But that got pretty bad till the Sunday before I went in the hospital, I just totally passed out. And my son was with me. He thought I was gone. He thought I was dead. And so for 2 days I was in St. Joseph. They looked and tried to find out what was wrong with my heart. I did EKGs, I did enzyme tests, I did every test I could think of, except Dr. May said we got to do one more test, and it's called a heart cath. And they run a tube up, I guess it's a tube up your leg into your heart, and they take pictures of the veins. And so when she did that, she said, "Look here, Mike." She said, "Look at this. You ought to be dead. You got all these blockages." I didn't have a heart attack. I never had a heart attack. My heart is in very, very good shape, but it was the low heart rate and those blockages that brought all the conditions on.
So after a quadruple bypass and a pacemaker, Sutherland is now on the road to recovery.
The first visit to the heart surgeon after that, he told me, he said, "Mike, I got some, in so many words, I got some good news and some bad news. The good news is what we did is working fine. We did a great job for you," which I really appreciate what they did, and all the prayers that everybody offered up, the citizens and my family and all. Anyway, so he said, but the bad news is, for you to get any better, you have to walk. So I started walking, and the first walk I took was out to my mailbox and back. That is as far as I could go. And then so he said, just try to get up to 30 minutes a day. So I started that. I started walking to the mailbox, and then I went a little past the mailbox, and I got up to 5 minutes. And the first mile that I walked took me 30 minutes. And I've been doing that for about 2.5 months now. And the mile I do now is about 17 minutes. So through the exercise routinely and the physical therapy I've been going through, it's really helped me a lot. I probably haven't felt this good in 3 or 4 years till the onset of this stuff. And so I got to thinking about our parks, and if you just, our parks and our sidewalks now, we got a whole bunch of sidewalks just put in. So if you don't even have to join a health club to take care of yourself. All you have to do is start at 5 minutes, just go outside and walk around a little bit, and you feel good with that, you'll do a little more, and just keep that up till you get about 30 minutes a day, and you'll have a wonderful, healthy life.
Well, Hammond Oliver High School for Human Sciences is for students who are interested in a health science career. Some of those students recently got an invitation to come visit the Texas A&M Health Science Center.
This is the second year we've had Hammond Oliver out here. It's a great opportunity for us to introduce high school students to the real world of medical school. We have 4 sessions. We have a session on anatomy. Dr. Wei Zheng Chen introduces the students to real bones. They actually get to touch and feel them. They see cross sections of a healthy brain and one with cancer. Another session they go to is our sim lab, which we're in right now. And this is a training facility for our physicians where they learn everything there is to learn about being in a hospital, being in a nursery, dealing with patients. But this is a state-of-the-art facility. Everything in here, every piece of equipment, every tool is a real tool. So our students really get a hands-on experience here. And the Hammond Oliver students, they get to go into a ICU nursery, play with mannequin babies. Today we have a baby, I believe, that has jaundice that they're actually getting to look at. Another session is on microscopy. Dr. Andrea Tracke, she researches real-time live cell imaging. She's doing her session on microscopy, optical illusions, and what do cells do, the subcellular components of cells. And our 4th session is with Dr. Ian Murray. He researches Alzheimer's. He's talking to the students about why we remember and why we don't remember things. It's a win-win situation because it exposes these students to training they may someday be in, and we hope we see them here soon.
Well, Sandy, with the continued growth of the Health Science Center out there, I imagine that tour will be great each and every year.
It will, and we're just so appreciative of Texas A&M's willingness to allow our students to come visit them.
The City of Bryan was on hand for Bryan College Station Habitat for Humanity's 200th home dedication here in our community. With the passing of the Keys, the Hernandez family has a new home in Bryan, and Habitat for Humanity has built their 200th home. On Saturday, November 12th, in the Angel Gate community, folks gathered to help celebrate with the Hernandezes as they became new homeowners. Community leaders, volunteers, and Habitat leaders came out to speak about the importance of Habitat for Humanity and how it helps shape a community. Different organizations presented the Hernandez family with house welcoming gifts, and their certificate of completion was also presented to them.
The certificate says that you have successfully completed the Habitat for Humanity Ministry requirements.
Bryan Councilmember Chuck Conderla was on hand to welcome the Hernandez family to Bryan on behalf of Single-Member District 1 Councilmember Richard Cortez, who wasn't able to make the dedication.
For the City of Bryan, we have a new homeowner. We have a new person that in the community has a better chance of contributing to the community and gets to go home every night to a wonderful, safe, and secure place that they call their own.
After the family thanked Habitat for Humanity, they expressed to the crowd what they were most excited about.
We're finally going to spend Christmas and Thanksgiving in a home that we can actually call home. I think everybody's going to help.
Then with keys in hand, the Hernandezes opened the door to their new home. Attendees were invited into the new house to sign the staircase and congratulate the newest homeowners of Bryan, the Hernandez family.
Well, Carver Early Childhood Campus recently held a dedication for their new building. One of the features outside is a storage building which a local artist has painted to resemble a small city.
When Bryan ISD came to me to come up with an idea for what to put on the pod to make it kid-friendly and fun, Grady Slayton kind of had in his vision a cartoon town, so he said figure it out and send it to me. So as I started getting on the computer and online and figuring out fun things, this is the pictures I came up with. And when we drew out the sketch for the maintenance guys, they built it just like my picture looked like. It was awesome. The vision started because of the trails and the kids riding their tricycles all through here. The thought of a garage and a place that they would go and shop, the garden center to go with their garden tables and their garden area and sandbox area. So, you know, just kind of evolved from there. We've probably been here on and off a couple of weeks, a lot of Saturdays and Sundays, and sometimes here during the day I get a little help from my husband, my kids come, and my favorite are the little neighborhood kids that come by. We all have nicknames for each other, Tic-Tac-Toe, Lady D. So that's been fun to have them come and visit. We've made good friends here.
Well, Sandy, that was a great idea to put that mural there, and it was great work as well.
It really is. Kristen is a wonderful artist, and she's actually done a number of murals in some of our schools and a great parent volunteer as well.
Well, the holiday season is coming up quick, and that means Holiday Magic is in Sue Haswell Park. This year it's Thursday, December 1st. Get ready for some magic, some holiday magic at the City of Bryan Sue Haswell Park from 5:30 to 8:30. Bring the kids and enjoy Frosty's Funland, where they can write a letter to Santa, ride the Polar Express, and sled down the snow-covered Arctic Hill. Santa himself will also be at the park posing for free pictures with your family. And there's no need to worry about parking. There are free shuttles from 5 to 9 taking you from Glenn College's parking lot to Haswell Park. It's the City of Bryan's Holiday Magic.
Well, Alan, we're looking forward to Holiday Magic. That's always a great event.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the city's signature events of the holiday season. Well, that's all the time we have for you on this episode of Bryan Living and Learning. But before we let you go, we wanted to show you some of the sights and the sounds of the Veterans Parade in downtown Bryan. I'm Alan Brugman.
I'm Sandy Ferris. Thanks for watching.